Okay, you're welcome back. Now, after creating of our site directory in which we're going to do all our designs, the next important thing we need to do is to create our database on the web server. Okay, because that's that's what we're going to connect our sites to. All right. So now in creating our site on the web server, we need to launch our web server. Okay, and in our case, we're using Apache, like I told you. So you simply go to your directory within there. Mine is PHP. Okay, here. All right, and that's it. You could simply just drop this on the desktop just to ease the next time you'll be getting it out. All right, just a shortcut. Beautiful. Now you just simply double click that. Okay, I've already opened it, so I won't be doing that again. There's it here. Okay, so once you minimize it, it loads your web server directory on your browser. As you can see within the address bar, excuse me, we have the http columns double slash double quote sorry, double backslash localhost backslash. Now this shows the PHP dev 5. Okay, that's the platform we're actually running. Okay, yeah, and here you could see all the directories, okay, of every site. All right, now whatever you're seeing here is actually what's embedded within the www folder of the sites. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at uh, what we've just created. I think we did tutors, right? Yes. So you should be seeing it somewhere down here. There's the directory. All right. If I click it right now, of course, there is nothing there yet. So you just see the index of that particular site. All right. Same way you see it online. Once you just register a site, a domain name, and a hosting platform, but no content on it yet, you definitely see it this way. So let's actually go back. Yeah, so now we need to create a database, okay, which we're going to integrate with our site. Now to do that, you simply come to the http localhost phpMyAdmin. All right, let's open that on a separate tab. Okay, it brings you here. Now this is the home of your database management system. All right, now here you create your database, you create tables within your database, you create links, connectivity between your database. All right, and numerous others. Here is where you assign usernames, passwords, and all that to your database. Now for a start, we're going to create a new database. Okay, now for me, it's a good practice to always name your database, your site, and everything to have a unique name such that you can identify them easily. All right, now since our site name is tutors, okay, I also intend to use tutors for my database. Okay, all right, so once you click on create, it creates the tutor database. Right now, there is no table within our database. All right, it's blank. So we're going to go ahead to create our first table. Now, assuming what we're going to work with first is going to be a contacts page. All right, where we get information from our online users, probably their names, their email, their phone numbers, and a little comment from them. All right. Okay, then it's also good that we actually catch the moments at which they're actually doing this online post, such as the date and the time. All right. Okay. So in that case, we'll be requiring how many fields. Now, fields are basically uh, the input elements, okay, within a table structure. For instance, if you are going to get a response from users using their first name is a field, okay, their email is also a field, their GSM is a field, okay, and comment is also a field. Now since we're including date and time, those are fields also, so we need to integrate that into the database. So we are going to call this particular table contacts. Then the number of fields we're going to require will be, we have first name, email, GSM, comments, that's 4, date and time, that's 6. Then a primary key which is we're going to use as the ID. So we're actually having 7 fields. So we click on go. Now a primary key is basically the element of identification of an entry within a database. Now, each entry within a database is required to have a unique key of identification. Now, that unique key of identification is the ID. All right, and it's not controlled by anyone or by anything. It's automated such that it's independent of any form of control. All right, now we have our ID, which is by default the first. Okay, then we can now put in our other fields. We have the first name. Okay, we say we're gonna get email. Yes, so we're gonna get GSM. Yes, we're also gonna get comments. Then we're gonna include a date and time of actual input. Now the ID, since it's always is a numerical field, okay? So in a numerical field, we set it at what? Integer. All right. Variable characters signifies any form of input, any form of data. For instance, you could take in integers, you could take in strings. Strings are basically words. You could take in special characters also. All right. So, but as for the ID is strictly integers. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. Okay. Now we'll set it under the extra at what? Auto increments. That is, it increases automatically. Once an entry is imputed, it strikes an input there as 1. Once a new entry comes in, it automatically imputes the ID there as what? 2. Okay, then we set it as our what? Primary key. Then for our first name, emails, and all the likes, we could work with variable characters on these particular ones, because emails contains, it could contain variable, it could contain strings, it could contain integers, numbers, and also special characters like the @ sign. All right, GSM we can set as variable characters also, because in our a variable an integer does not start with the figure 0. It starts from a figure 1. Now if you set our GSM local numbers which starts from 080, you understand, when you use a variable character in this an integer in this particular format, it automatically converts that to an integer mode, okay, which is not exactly what we want. So in this case, we need to leave it as a variable character so it retains the format it's coming in. Okay, so for a variable character, the maximum length of value is 255. So it's your choice. You can set it to the maximum, or if you want to be specific in nature, like in this case where we have GSMs, the maximum character is what? 11. If you are using GSM mode, you could set that to 11. But for me, as a good practice, we could always set that to 255, and we could work around the controls later. Date and time, we can also set this as 255. Now the date and time, it depends on the kind of mode you intend to use. All right, I will explain that in later lessons. Okay, but there's actually a type for dates, date time. There's actually time for dates, and it's a one for time. All right, but this is good when you intend to use a particular format of strictly integers. All right, okay, but we're not doing that in this case. We want our time to comprise of a full length of day, you understand, month, and the like. So we could use variable character for that. So once you set it this way, you click on your save button. It creates your table, okay, contacts, as you can see it here. All right, and here we have our ID, first name, email, GSM, comment, date, and time. Right now we can't browse anything yet because there is no inputs, okay, made to this yet. All right, so we'll come to that later.